Hey everyone, this is Anirban here again. I'm your host and you are watching the Growth Flywheel. Today I have Maria Ledentsova. She's from Germany, Berlin. She's a Notion influencer and a personal brand strategist, as well as she helps people to build a business with LinkedIn and build systems. So I have been following you for quite some time. Your
Mhm.
journey on LinkedIn is quite significant, and whatever you have achieved with Magyar is something extraordinary. You
Mm.
build a strong personal brand while helping people with different assets. And I always see that you are giving a lot, like you do believe in giving a lot to people without expecting anything in return. That is really, really commendable.
Thank you so much. It's very kind. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited for our chat, and I love what you do. I know podcasts are a lot of work, and it's a very lovely thing to do to connect with other people, ask them questions, and learn, and help others learn through common knowledge. So I love your mission and what you're doing.
Awesome. So I noticed that in August, it's been 3 months. So you have launch anyway. So what was the mission behind it?
Launch anyways, I guess not like the thing for which I left my job. So it's basically a local community for solopreneurs, because I've been living life in this kind of way. When, for example, I became a marketer, I started hosting Notion for marketers events, right? Because I want to connect with other marketers who use Notion. And I did the same with this Launch Anyway community, which is, yeah, again, like a community for solopreneurs in Berlin, because I was like, I'm a solopreneur now and I would love to meet other solopreneurs and help us support each other, and for us to meet up and co-work. Because what I've been hearing before I quit my job to become a solopreneur is that it can be a very lonely journey. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. I need to bring us all together, and that's what I'm building kind of on the side. I'm not even planning to monetize this community right now. It's just something I do because I enjoy connecting and bringing people together. Yeah.
Right. So you are doing it just because you love to meet new people and get new ideas and
Yeah.
increase the horizon of your thoughts.
Yeah, and just support each other, because there are so many questions when you become a solopreneur, when you quit your job, when you do start doing this full time, or you're like solopreneurs are also like freelancers, business owners, anyone working kind of alone on their own thing. That is, those are the people I want to include in the community, because they need support the most. They're doing it alone. They don't even have co-founders or anyone to lean on. So I think community is like so important, and it can help us overcome so many challenges that we wouldn't have as easily alone. Yeah.
Right. So how did you become a Notion influencer?
Notion has an ambassador program. So I'm a Notion ambassador, you could say. I mean, I'm kind of also an influencer at this point, but it's also Notion ambassador. And how you can do it is you can apply for the program. Anyone can apply for the Notion ambassador program, and they accept people um, who either, for example, you create templates for like Notion templates in your industry. Can be book trackers, can be marketing templates, can be to do tracking tools, templates, and you publish them in the marketplace so that other people can use them. Or you can host events, host Notion meetups. You don't need to be a Notion ambassador for that. You can just bring people together, and you can apply then. Or you create content, educational content about Notion to help other people start using Notion. So I was doing two. So I was doing templates and content. And then once I joined the ambassador program, I also started hosting Notion for marketers events, like free events to bring marketers together to learn Notion. Yeah.
Mhm. So when you teach people and share a lot of resources to learn Notion and
Yeah.
build a good system for their business, so when it comes to you, how do you use Notion?
Ooh, I use it for everything in my life. It's Notion has been a part of my life for like four phases of my life. I started using it when I was doing my bachelor's in music, so it was like completely different field. So I was using it to write my thesis and organize, and it was still like early days. It was like how many years ago at this point? I don't know, 6 years ago or something. I cannot count. And then second phase was doing my master's. In marketing. So it also helped me write my thesis, apply to universities, track my tasks, assignments, everything like that. Then when I became a full-time marketer at Magyar, which was my first ever full-time job, and I was the only marketer, and I had to, do everything, be every department in marketing. So I was tracking everything there, every campaign, every content piece, every task. And now that I've quit my job 2.5 months ago and I'm doing this full time, it's my CRM, it's my journal, it's my tasks manager. I'm happy to show you another time how I use it, but it's just, it's my life is in there basically. And I think the common theme is that Notion is very adaptable to what you need it to be.
Right. So, Maria, I saw that you are on YouTube as well, and you have a really good audience on LinkedIn. You have 21K followers on LinkedIn. So, how did you find your first core audience?
First core audience. Like kind of like I mentioned with the community I'm building, I kind of a personal brand, I build it around my life, and I think that's the easiest way to build your personal brand, like the most logical for me. If you can do it like this, I highly urge you to do it, because you basically can talk about what you're learning. Like as a marketer, for example, if you're a marketer, you can talk about things you're learning as a marketer and attract other marketers and help them learn as well. So if that is a relevant audience for you, that's a very like a great way to build your personal brand. So initially I started while I was working at Mag, and our target audience was head of marketing and founders. So my account focused on marketers. So it was like a match made in heaven, because I was sharing educational content for marketing leads, how to, write content that converts, how to structure your content, how to design, how to write design briefs. So my content was heavily focused on that, to help also Magyar get their first, or not first clients, but like clients from LinkedIn, more clients from LinkedIn. And then I also, since I've quit, I've noticed that my content is also very relevant for founders, like who want to build their personal brand and who want to get clients from LinkedIn. So I've also pivoted, and like now I kind of do both, which is not ideal, but I do write some content for marketers, some content for founders. Many principles are the same for marketers and founders.
So, you are saying that the biggest metric or biggest growth booster for you is always building a community of like minded people.
Oh, it's so helpful. Anything, community will help you with anything you want to do in life, right? So it can be, you want to launch your own business and you need first supporters, right? Or it might be you want to just connect and get friendships. I got so many like just friends, genuine friendships from LinkedIn that I met, first online, and then they came to Berlin and we met, and it was like beautiful. And I think LinkedIn can be so much more than just a typical like networking careers platform. Like, it's truly a social platform. So yeah, I don't know, it can be very many things.
Right.
Community help will help you with everything you do in life, and especially now with AI developments and so much generic content out there, personal connections are key. Yeah.
Right. So, if someone wants to start their personal branding journey today,
Yeah.
what should be their roadmap?
Ooh, the roadmap. I mean, first, of course, you need to think, okay, who do I want to connect with? Who do I want to have in my community, you could say. And second of all, what I recommend everyone do is start noticing in your day-to-day life what you're learning, what mistakes you're making, and kind of thinking, how can I kind of write about it in a way that is like engaging, where I can share my lessons with others so that they can also learn from it. Because like LinkedIn is also has been in on a journey from posts that go like 5 tips to optimize your website, right? To now being like, I have lost 100% of traffic in 2024, and here's what I've learned to get it back up there. Like it's more based on experience, based on your own opinion, based on what you've learned in your work or life. So it's much more storytelling based. Every social media platform I know is moving into the storytelling direction, and I think that's really like it's a good development. I think AI is helping force the storytelling development and opinions and expertise to be at the forefront, rather than just like checklists that no one uses, or 20 tips to optimize to write a great blog post. Why would I care about this checklist if ChatGPT can give me this information? I will rather hear your story and then trust your expertise because you've been there and you've done that before. So basically, start noticing what mistakes you're making, what you're learning, share what you're learning, how you've learned it, what your like strong opinions are. I think that's also a great, like, do you have any strong opinions on the industry? Like, LinkedIn is dead. I don't know. It's a very, cliche thing. Like, if you have this opinion genuinely, talk about it. Why do you think that? What do you suggest we do instead?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when we call it personal brand, that the word personal is there. That means you
Yeah.
have to show the authentic
Yeah.
version of yourself. But right now,
Yes.
what is happening? People are using AI and writing, as you have mentioned, that people are writing these 10 tips,
Yeah.
5 lessons, and all. So it's actually damaging their personal brand. But people don't
Yeah.
even understand that that's damaging their personal brand. So if you, let's say you are a coach and you are guiding someone, so if you, I mean, if they ask you what are the content they should focus on, or how they would decide what content to double down on, what would be your answer?
Mm. Well, to decide what content to double down on, I suggest checking, if you've been posting consistently, check what have been the last, I don't know, 20 posts, which of them performed the best in terms, and you can decide what is important to you. Is it getting leads, so like getting clients, getting discovery calls, or is it, follower growth? Is it engagement, like people engaging with your content means it's engaging. They may trust you more. They're starting a conversation, which is also very important. Like, decide on your primary kind of important metric for you. If it's in the moment you really need clients, check which post got you the most clients, and then, or inquiries, and then try to do a bit more of that, and then eventually you'll figure out maybe a formula for yourself of how you can attract even more clients with posts like these. I always think there has to be a content mix. So, for example, if your goal is to attract clients, you cannot just post work with me, work with me, work with me. You need to first make people aware of you. And how you do that is you write stories, you share your lessons, you share maybe free resources, which is a great growth tactic. And then you educate people, you share your opinions, exactly, and then later, further down the line, then you can say buy from me, because they trust you at this point. If you just say buy, 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 but don't nurture, don't educate, they won't trust you to buy from you. So it's very important to have this mix of top of funnel content, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. That's how I approach every personal brand of my clients. Yeah. So, in terms of content, to know what to post, again, try to go for this mix. So, content that makes people aware of you, aware that you exist, content that educates and nurtures your audience, and content where you actually say how you can help your audience. Because if you don't tell them what you can help with, they will not know. So that's also very important. And in terms of for growth, what I've noticed is that sharing free resources really can get you huge, like really fast results. So sharing free guides, checklists, swipe files, and asking people to comment a specific keyword. So, for example, one of my best free resources is a Notion for Marketers bundle. So it's like a template, a Notion template that has everything marketers need to start using Notion. Lots of templates, a lot of value, and people just comment a keyword like Notion, and then I send them a link to the template for free. So that is how I like this post. I think got thousands of likes and hundreds of thousands of impressions. And so if you find something where your expertise matches the pain point that you're solving for your audience, and then you create a free resource for that, it doesn't have to be also super complex like a Notion template or something. It can be a Google document. It can be something super simple, Excel sheet. Then share that, and test a few different angles, a few different options and resources, and then that can help you grow a lot faster.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we are talking about personal brands and also have talked about Magyar, so how
Yeah.
did you help Magyar to build a company-wide personal brand?
um Multiple ways, so multiple steps were involved for sure. I recently actually last week I gave a talk about it at the Make with Notion in Berlin, how I've built this LinkedIn hub, and how I motivated the team to post on LinkedIn. Because what we noticed is I was posting on LinkedIn, the founders were posting on LinkedIn, which is amazing. I was trying to support some people with LinkedIn, but people weren't very educated about LinkedIn and the value of LinkedIn, or why they should be there, or not very motivated to post at all. So what I did is I created a huge like Notion, Notion hub, about LinkedIn with step-by-step breakdowns of what you need to know about LinkedIn, how to post, how to write in your tone of voice, write posts that sound like you, that are not cringy, how to track your content, how to plan your content, how to decide what to post, who to write for, example posts, database with 100 or something ready to go posts, so you can copy paste posts as well if you really don't know what to post about and need a quick post. They can just copy paste with visuals, post templates, and much more. So like video tutorials. So I create this huge hub for them to educate them on the value of LinkedIn, why we want to be there, how to show up on LinkedIn. Then I also motivated them in a way because we had this 30-day challenge for people to post on LinkedIn, and the top three winners got a cash prize. So they were motivated to compete with each other and post and get impressions. That was a second pillar. And also I supported them because I offered one-on-one mentorship and like checking their content ideas, giving them feedback one-on-one. And that is what helped us go from 3 people posting in the company to, I think it was like 13 then at the end. And now they're continuing without me. I still see posts of personal brands and team members, designers, developers posting, which is really lovely. And I hope they continue because it's good for their future, right? It's good for their future, and it's good for my gear because more people are aware of them.
You
Um,
are a kind soul.
thank you.
All right. So we have learned the audience growth and branding segment. Now, if we come to the monetization part, what was your first income stream as a creator?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, it's only my third month. Started. I don't know how the time flies so fast. Literally, I feel like I just quit my job and it's already the third month. A lot has happened. My first income stream since I quit was from a freelance client project where I've set up the LinkedIn kind of dashboard for them in Notion, and I've taught them how to use it. That was the first invoice I wrote as a solopreneur. And then the second one was a sponsored partnership, actually. So like I was asked to post on my LinkedIn account, create videos about Framer, which is a website development tool. Really cool. I have my website on Framer too now, and I learned it, and they paid me a sum for free posts. So I was very, very excited about that. I got this partnerships through a referral because a friend of mine is a creator and she recommended me. I think Framer is such a huge brand, so I didn't expect them to come to me. 20,000 is something, but it's not like, hundreds of thousands. They work with huge creators typically, so I was very honored to work with them. Yeah, so
Do
those
you see,
two.
yeah.
Mhm.
Do you see yourself as a UGC creator in the future?
UGC creator. I mean, initially before I quit, I was thinking of doing like educational, like helping SaaS companies, SaaS founders create educational videos about their tools because I feel like that's lacking a lot sometimes. Like some tools, like you go to the website and you just don't know what it does. And if someone would just record educational videos about how to use that for specific use cases, that would help so much to explain what the tool does, right? So I have my setup, I have my camera. Right now it's just a webcam, but I have my camera and I have my microphones and everything. So I was like, maybe that could be something. But I reflected and I think it's just um, too much like time investment for probably not that much returns. Sponsored posts make more sense for me. I mean, if someone comes up and they have a good offer for me, of course, and it's a win-win collaboration, I would do it. For now, I think my goal is to continue to grow my accounts, my LinkedIn account, YouTube account, share all I know on there, like all of my knowledge, and then have like some paid services to help people implement the knowledge.
Right.
That's how I approach it. Yeah.
So what's your main revenue stream today?
Again, it still varies because it's my first month, so it's always like up and down. My plan is like to diversify a lot. So right now, there is no main income. Like some freelance clients, some sponsorships. Sometimes it's like more freelance, less sponsorships, zero sponsorship, 2 free clients. So it really depends on the month. Let's see what's going to happen this month. For now, it's just some freelance work for this October. And yeah, so what I plan to do, because I think like I'm still building out a lot of the foundational things that I need to have, like my website is not done yet, like so many things. I want to offer like paid templates, Notion templates and resources to kind of help people implement what I'm teaching.
Mhm.
I have continued with freelance work, and I'm also planning to host to create a bootcamp for marketers to learn personal branding. So
Right.
that's gonna be, but for now it's, I'm building it out. Hopefully in 2 months I'll be able to tell you my income streams are this, this, and this.
Right.
Yeah.
So also I've noticed that you have had a podcast named Marketing Mondays with
Yeah.
Maria. Did it help you anyway, or it is? You made it because you wanted to become a podcast host.
The podcast was a test, you could say, because I was still working at Magir, and it was like partially my own project, partially a project I did while working full time, right? So I decided not to bring it over with me to my solopreneur journey. So I decided to stop once I quit the job. But the goal of the podcast was to kind of reach more, like connect with other marketers, so, or people who can help marketers solve their pain points. So
Right.
we had a productivity coach, Oscar Eklund, on the show. We had an SEO expert, we had a personal branding expert, a fellow one, and a few other people. A public speaking coach as well, Vincent Pierre. He's really great. So we had different people who can help marketers in their roles, different ways. And the goal was to, yeah, position Magir and myself, of course, as someone who helps and educates and connects with the audience and reach more marketers through this podcast. But it was just so much work on top of my full-time work, so I we didn't see the results we were hoping to see, I guess, in terms of numbers, and for the effort, like for the time investment. You know how it is. For the time investment, it just didn't pay off for us at that point. But it also, like, I have to say, it was also because I was doing it on the side, like 20 hours extra a week just for this podcast, on top of my work. So it felt like a huge project to continue doing at that time. We had to focus on other channels like LinkedIn. Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So if we talk about systems, what
Mhm.
does your weekly content system look like?
Well, Notion, of course, I use Notion for everything, but also I calendar block my week religiously. Like like my life would depend on it. I calendar block everything. I have our interview in the calendar. Last week was a bit confusing, but yes, I have it in my calendar. I have like my workouts in my calendar. I have my focus times. I have Mondays and Fridays typically meeting free. Today's an exception, but it's totally fine. Like today is only one meeting, and then I have my tasks and my content in Notion, my clients. I check in on my analytics weekly. I don't know if that's maybe relevant. So I have weekly in Notion my like weekly reflection, and I have a Google sheet with my KPIs. So like how many followers I got this week, how many impressions, how many YouTube subscribers, how many YouTube videos I published, how many how much revenue I got from which source, so I can choose. So I think what you don't track, you don't improve, or like you can't improve. So I truly believe, even if the numbers are discouraging sometimes, right, they can be, still it's good to track. It's better to track, and then you can look back a year later and be like, wow, I've grown so much. It's so important to look back and be grateful for where you've got, where you got too. And I sometimes really am a bit sad that I didn't track in the beginning, in the early stages when I had 800 followers and I wasn't tracking weekly, what's working, what's not. Yeah.
Right. So do you have any kind of habits that help you stay consistent?
Consistent with my personal brand or with LinkedIn or
Overall,
with.
like business, personal brand,
Hmm.
day to day like growth.
My habits. I mean, one of the best habits I have built this year is consistently working out, and also doing that with friends, because I think it used to be like a very lonely thing. I would just maybe go work out once a week and then go alone. And now I meet friends. I have a WhatsApp group with my friends where I post whenever I go to a workout what I have planned, and then they can join. And it's like we go to different classes, handstand classes, and like we try new things. And I think that keeps me going and consistent, because it adds to my creativity. Because if you try something new, if you leave your comfort zone, whatever it may be, maybe working out, maybe trying a new art form or something, or going to a concert, it inspires you, and it adds to that creativity which you need to continue doing what you do, probably. For me, creativity is very important, and that fuels it. Calendar blocking, of course, is a habit, I would say, and I do it every day, and it helps a lot to see where your days are going. I can see 2 weeks ago I was working on this and this and this. This week I'm working on this and this and this, and I can see it in my calendar. If I also, it helps you spot when you are lying to yourself, because I can be like, oh, I'm working so much and I'm not progressing, or I'm working so much on content, but the content is not performing. And then you look at your calendar and you see, I had like a 1 hour block for content this week. Of course, I didn't invest enough time to make it work. So it helps you really spot, did I actually do what I said I would do? For me, my non-negotiable kind of right now is I want to try to post at least once on YouTube a week, ideally 2 times, and that is a goal. So like I'm one day late with my goal right now, and I will publish some videos today that are actually for last week. So I look at my calendar, I see I did not make time for it. So you need to change it, and that's why you do calendar blocking, and you add a block to your calendar, film the video, edit the video. It's very important.
Right. So what's one thing you have automated that changed the game for you?
I have automated. Actually, I'm still starting. Like I'm still starting learn about NA10, Relay, and stuff like that. All of the agents. I don't know if you're very into it. I would love to hear how you're using them and what you're automating. So I don't really have any like automated, complicated workflows. I have a custom GPT that helps me a lot. So it's not really an automation, but it's, I guess, an AI support tool for me. That I've built, that helps me do everything: brainstorm, write the content. If I have an idea for content, I can ask it to write the first draft, and it's pretty good at that because it knows me really well. So that's, I guess, it's not really an automation, but it's a time saving thing, I guess. Yeah. What do you use it for? I would love to know what you automate.
I generally don't love AI that much because
Mm-hmm.
I feel that there should be a human connection. Apart
Mm-hmm.
from that, I keep my system and all very simple, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't need any kind of AI tool or anything to automate.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in the future, if I think that
Mm-hmm.
there should be something which should be automated, then I would think
Yeah.
of it. But as of now, as I'm totally into newsletter business and overall 1% media
Yeah.
business, so my goal is to keep things simple,
Mm-hmm.
doable for me. Also,
Mm-hmm.
it should make me feel that I am doing the right kind of work. Like, let's say people
Mm.
are focusing too much on AI, people are focusing on too much on agents and all. But at the end of the day, what's the achievement you have done, right?
Yeah.
So people are not achieving something, people are just chasing the cream. Like they're thinking that
Mm.
if I follow this, I will get that. That doesn't happen really. If you're not sure about what you want, then there is no point of doing something.
Yeah, yeah. I think sometimes we tend to automate. I'm also a huge proponent of, doing the work first, and then you can see where you can optimize. Like some people want to skip that part and go straight into, automating the LinkedIn posts or comments, right? And then it doesn't really work because you haven't built the foundations, you haven't built your strategy, you haven't built your trust with your audience. You cannot skip that part. The hard
Right.
work. Oh, some dogs. The hard work, and skip to automation. I think it doesn't feel right. Like I've worked with clients before who want to, always do faster and faster and more optimized and efficient. And I don't think that's always a solution, because you also want to live a life that you enjoy. And if content writing is something you enjoy, you shouldn't automate that or outsource that to an AI.
Awesome. So you have worked in a different fields. Like there are so many things you have done in your life so far.
Yeah.
Like you have worked as a receptionist. You have worked in personal branding. You have worked in Magyar as a marketing consultant, OMT. Also, you have had your own podcast. So after doing this all, what do you think? Where did you find your ikigai, or where do you love your work the most?
Yeah, wow, that's a good question. I've been like working on understanding my ikigai for months. I don't know if I feel like community building is something I'm noticing I do naturally, so it doesn't feel like work to me to organize it. Like, of course, organizing events is work, but it just feels so fulfilling and so natural to me to just say, okay, let's meet up and get to know people who are in the same process as we are, or in the same struggling with the same things. Like it's just the most natural thing to me. So community building, I would say, feels very natural. And personal branding, like encouraging people to create opportunities for themselves, So to attract the right opportunities and to kind of own their future, like kind of take ownership of their future. That's how I would say it. Um, because right now everything is so uncertain, the market is uncertain. I don't want people to just rely on having a job for income and having the one job and the recruiter or someone telling them no, and then they're like lost. I think you can try to learn to monetize your skills, which is what I'm working on right now also a lot every day. Learning to monetize your skills is like the best skill you can develop, and it's so rewarding, knowing that you're not dependent on one person to tell you how much you're able to earn, how much you have to work. Like you kind of take ownership of your life, and I think that's something I want to empower more people to do. So that's my ikigai, I guess.
Right. Awesome. So, Maria, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 6 months?
Ooh, 3 to 6 months.
I mean, what are the plans you
Uh,
have in your mind? What you want to do with your life? Maybe you want to explore some other ventures, or
yeah.
how do you see yourself?
Hopefully in like 6 months I have some more stable income streams. Like right now it's all very up and down because I'm just starting. So hopefully I'll have launched my course for personal branding for marketers. I have like the weekly calls and I support them. I have like my structure, my routine. Maybe I have like one or two freelance ongoing clients that I really align with and I want to support their mission. um, and I don't know, I live my life and I enjoy my life. That's what's important to me. So I have some recurring revenue, which makes me feel less anxious financially, because that's the goal, just to have the basis down and to not feel like it's always an up and down and you're always thinking where is my next income going to be from. So the goal is to have stability, the foundation first, and then do the things I really want to do, not for financial benefits, but just for because I really enjoy doing them.
Yeah.
So even with freelance work, my goal is not to rely on freelance work for income, because I want to do it because I really enjoy it, not because I feel like I need it, yeah, to
Right.
survive.
Right.
Yeah.
So, to those people who are watching this podcast, do you have any message, or if you can give one piece of suggestion to them?
Hmm. Uh, One quote that I've been living by, and I've been talking about it for like I think recently I posted about it as well, because I think it really resonates with me and reminds me to again take ownership of my life. And it goes, nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you want to, you're not happy in your work, you need to change something for it to change. You cannot just continue living day to day to taking the same motions. You need to step outside of your comfort zone and face that nothing is going to change if you don't do anything. So actually, like, such a simple concept, but if you reflect and actually think to yourself, okay, these are my goals, this is what I'm doing right now every day, is that getting me closer to my goals, or is it not helping me in any way get closer to my goals? You need to really be honest with yourself and then
Right.
take those first few steps. It doesn't have to be intimidating. It's just like first few steps, get out of your comfort zone, try to achieve your goals, because you can if you take the right steps.
Right. Do you have anything to promote to the people who are watching this podcast? Anything you want?
I mean, they're welcome to check out my LinkedIn, of course, and write me if they need support. Other than that, I also actually have a Substack where I reflect weekly on how the solopreneurship thing is going. So if you like, it's called Launch Anyway. It's a Substack on Substack, and I try to post weekly where like what my lesson was, how I'm feeling about this whole journey, and what my challenges are, to be more transparent as well. And yeah,
More of a BTS newsletter.
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for watching this podcast with Maria. Maria is
Thank you.
really a legend and she's so humble. I really loved talking with her, and whatever she has taught in the last 30 minutes is really uh, gold if you follow each and every advice. So if you want to talk with Maria, or if you want to learn from Maria, then of course feel free to follow her on LinkedIn. And also I will attach every link, like Substack link, LinkedIn link, or YouTube
Thank you.
link in this comment section. And so Maria, I will try in German. Danke, dass du
Oh,
heute gekommen bist. Is it right?
dass du heute gekommen bist. Ja. Very nice. Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for having me. I am very, very, very happy and grateful that you invited me to be on your podcast.
Thank you
It's an
so much.
honor, and I wish you a lot of success and a lot of, yeah, that you reach your dreams as well. So, yeah,
Awesome. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for coming today. Have a great journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.